Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Vyrgilla deck profile for post-trial decks, Stardust, Blade. We have more support for the Ultimate Skill deck, Vyrgilla, which focuses on the Energy Blast ability and using the Ultimate Skill order for our Vanguard setup of a pretty powerhouse Vanguard being able to utilize the rear guards for restand power, along with additional power of being able to just keep consistency with this Dragon Empire deck. Made some changes to the cards along that we got with the trial deck for some of the other better Dragon Empire support that you can run with the deck as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. We'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck, consisting of the Energy Generator, our starter being the Grade 0 Vyrgilla. When this card's wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our Grade 1 is Rising Star Vyrgilla. On Vanguard during your turn, it gets plus 2,000 for each of your rear guards, and on Vanguard, when you would ride from the ride deck, you can ride it with Soul Blast 1 instead of choose a card from your hand and discard it. So options for being able to save cards in your hand thanks to this unit as well, with our Grade 2 being Shooting Star Vyrgilla. If you have 4 more rear guards, reveal a card of Vyrgilla and its card name from the ride deck, and this unit gets critical plus 1 till end of turn. So in on pressure, Grade 2 Vanguard, and when this unit's wrote upon, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and also choose one Grade 2 card from among them, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle the deck. If it was wrote upon by a Grade 3 card with Vyrgilla and its card name, look at the card from your deck instead of the top 7 cards. So the main play with this is to add the Stardust Blade Normal Order Ultimate Skill from your deck to your hand, with our Grade 3 being the Rewrite the Star Vyrgilla, along with the copy we run in the ride deck. We also run the 3 additional copies in the main deck as well. But before we get to those 3, I figured we'd go over the ultimate skill order that we run in the deck as well, which is Stardust Blade. You play this card with a counter plus 1 if you have a Vanguard with Vyrgilla and its card name. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 unit card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from among them. Call it to rear guard and shuffle the deck. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets on the Vanguard when your rear guard is retired by your opponent's card ability. Search your deck for up to 1 normal unit. Call it to rear guard and shuffle the deck. And the Vanguard gets plus 3,000 for each normal unit on your rear guard and your drop until end of turn. So an additional plus power option for your Vanguard using this ultimate skill order in the deck as well. Like I said in my opening video, I think it's really awesome that this card is designed to look like an impact from the Buddy Fight series. So you run 4 of this card just so you have all of this search and power up option for your Vanguard in the form of this order for more and more rear guards and normal units in your drop zone that you have. With the next lineup being the Grade 3s, 3 copies of Rewrite the Star Vyrgilla. With this card on the Vanguard circle once per turn, you can Energy Blast 3, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, bind it, choose up to 1 Grade 2 unit card from your drop, call it to rear guard, and on the Vanguard circle when this unit attacks, you can counter plus 1, choose one of your Grade 2 rear guards, and stand it. So as long as you have Grade 2 power on the rear guard, which we have a good number of rear guards that we run for that play, this just gives us the multiple attack option, along with a way to clear out our opponents, being able to use those opponents' rear guards and bind them instead of retire them, completely taking them out of the game also. For the other Grade 3s, we run 4 copies of Flag Raising of Courage Fanfare. When it's placed on rear guard, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your units with Ezerwur and its card name, and that unit and this unit get plus 5,000 to end of turn. If your opponent's Vanguard's Grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 10 instead of plus 5. And in the front row rear guard at the end of your turn, if you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vyrgilla and its card name, and you played an ultimate skill order this turn, put this unit into the soul, draw a card, and countercharge 1, making up for the heavy counterblast that you'll do with your Vanguard to begin with. So you have a way to build up your soul for the next unit that we run in the deck, and also the countercharge option also. The big play is you also just have to make sure that you use the ultimate skill beforehand in the game. We're also running 4 copies of Inductance Dragon. When this unit's placed on rear guard from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Vyrgilla and its card name, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 ultimate skill card from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. As I can say from before, searching and using the Stardust Blade every turn is a very important part of the deck, so having a Grade 2 that can check top 7 gives you a better chance to be able to search that card, since the only other guarantee we had for searching it was from the ride deck skill of going into the Grade 3 Vanguard. And on rear guard, if you have a Grade 3 regular Vanguard with Vyrgilla and its card name, this unit gets boost. So you can have the attack with your Fanfare and the next unit, while your Inductance Dragon provides the boost power just from having the needed Vanguard for the deck also. And then also we're running 3 copies of Ezerwur. For this card, it has the mate unit, Vyrgilla, and this card cannot be ridden and can only be called to rearguard or guard circle if you have a Vanguard with Vyrgilla in its card name. It's a 15k grade 2, but the only reason I'm running 3 of this card is because even if this card gets retired from the rearguard circle, we have options to be able to call it back onto the rearguard circle with our Rewrite the Star Vyrgilla and its Energy Blast 3 ability. So then we always have the chance to have this card on rearguard to then be able to provide another attack again. And also 3 copies of Great Flame Axe of Ambitious Scales, Kogaflen. When it's discarded from hand during your ride phase, you can Soul Blast 1, put this card on the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. And when this unit is placed on rearguard, if you Persona Road this turn, Counter Blast 1, retire all your opponent's rearguards in the same column as this unit. So it's just added pressure for being able to clear out other columns, while your Vyrgilla takes care of the bound unit that you used with its own ability as well for the search off of the Energy Blast, and then just being able to have more draw power when discarded for the ride deck option. And then lastly, for the grade 2s, 2 copies of Djinn of Trusting Luck. When it's discarded from hand during your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 normal order from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle the deck. So this card just gives you more search power for the Stardust Blade Ultimate Skill normal order. So this card is a little more inconsistent for the reveal 5 for that order. I think it's a really good generic, but just for this deck, you don't have as much of a consistent as you do with some of the other cards in the deck to run, so it's just a 2 of count because of that. For the grade 1s, 3 copies of Cosmore on the rearguard once per turn. When this unit boosts a unit with Ezerwur in its card name, Energy Charge 1. And from the back row rearguard, when your unit with Ezerwur stands during your battle, stand this unit. So this makes it so you want to make your target for the Vyrgilla restand your Ezerwur, so then you can restand the same column that Cosmore is in as well. We just run 3 of this card though, because once you have that column set up, its main focus is just going to be providing the boost power to Ezerwur. So not really much use for any of the other columns that you'll have. One of the other better grade 1s is our Stealth Fiend Shenri, which on rearguard, when this unit boosts, if your opponent has 1 or less rearguards or you played in order this turn, it gets plus 5,000 to the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put this unit in the soul and draw a card. So more draw power, and for the fact that most of the time you're going to be activating an order for your deck, so you'll be able to make full use of your Shenri. I thought of running 4 of this card. If you were to do so, you could try dropping down the Cosmore to a 2 of count for then 4 copies of this unit. And also the 4 copies of Twin Buckler Dragon, just the Sentinel of choice, to then be able to use for less guard restriction. If you wanted to run Elementaria Sanctitude, you could always take out the 1 slot for this card, with our only other Blitz order in the deck being Union the Sky. It is a Regalis piece. You can only have 1 Regalis piece in your deck and use a total of 1 during the fight. You play it with a Counter Blast 1 or Energy Blast 3, draw a card, remove this card, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 15 until end of battle, and bind a card with the same card name as your Vanguard from your soul or drop, and it gets plus 25 instead. And when it's discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, you can Counter Blast 1 or Energy Blast 3 to draw a card and remove this card. So you either have the draw option or the added Blitz option with this Regalis piece. With our trigger lineup being the 7 critical, so 3 copies of Conduct Spark Dragon and the 4 copies of Burning Flail Dragon for the put into soul plus 2 ability. The next trigger is the draw spot, so 4 copies of Flare Veil Dragon, with our heal being Parasolis. This can be any heal, even including the one we got from the actual trial deck itself, with our over trigger being Drag Veda for the restand power that this card provides, and for the fact that it's not a once per turn for the restand power of Vyrgilla. So if we attack, get the over trigger, we can restand again. Having that restand power, we can attack with our rearguard again, and then attack with Vyrgilla again for another restand of another rearguard. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, very happy with the new trial deck. It's definitely a great introduction for people that want to play the game and, purchase a deck that will have full power going into it with all the cards available to them in the deck. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.